Hello, how are you doing? Yes. Just finishing my cup of tea. Ah, dear. Right. I'm getting started. What we got tonight is this good old boy. He's the Pictish warlord from Griffin Beast. And ahoy! Yes, the rum is always gone. This guy is the Pictish warlord from Griffin Beast, as I said. He comes with a spear and a shield, but I just couldn't resist giving him a bit more of a Hollywood look by giving him one of their Crusader swords. It's probably quite a brave choice if I wanted to get some abuse early on. Okay, so I best get some brushes going and some paint going because that's obviously what I'm here. I'm not going to get involved with whether that's a skirt or a kilt. I'm not going down that debate. Right, let's get some flesh tone going. I'm still getting used to having this camera backwards. I can't use my main camera that I shoot the videos from yet. So everything's back to front, which is kind of weird. Good old YouTube. Yes, let's start the bearded lady, as pointed out by Bob. Those Malifaux miniatures are crazy as well, aren't they? Yes. Yeah, it's not really proper kilt on this guy. It's definitely a wearable blanket, as Bob said. Well, that's what kind of kilt is, I suppose. But this is like pre all that, I believe. Well, I've got to find where I've got to sit. Sorry about this. It's the getting used to the back to front camera is going to take some getting used to. I'm just watering it down a bit with my usual matte medium. I've already done a zenithal highlight with the Vallejo stuff. Vallejo black with Vallejo grey over the top. Yeah, this webcam, I can't get it to get a nice auto zoom, so I've got to sort of set the focus at one place. Oh, the this bowl. Ah, yeah, it's not rum. Okay, I did do it in one of the video, but I just it's basically a matte medium, and I buy this stuff. Yeah, that's I get it originally from this bowl and just tip it in there so I dip my brush in it, and it's this gel matte medium from PBO, which I buy on Amazon, and I mix it with some water and a little bit of flow improver, so it's a bit like Lamy medium, that sort of thing from GW. And I use it just to thin the paints a little bit as I go along. It's also handy for making washes, pretty much everything. And because that Pebio stuff on Amazon's, I think that was about £5 for that big pot of it. It comes out like school glue, it's quite thick. So it being so cheap, I use it for everything. Well, nearly everything. And then just dip it. It's easy just to dip it in there as I go along. Make sense? Yeah. I kind of got used to the army painted paints now. I was using a mixture of Citadels and Valleos and all sorts. But I bought the big set of army paint ones, and because I wasn't very impressed with them at first, like everyone isn't usually, you've got to shake the holy bejesus out of them. And if you there's a when they seal them, there's like a little bit of, it almost looks like medium itself at the top of the bottle. If you squirt that out first before you mix them up, then they tend to mix even better. But you're right, the medium does help them quite a bit. Although I use it when I was using the Valleos and all the other stuff as well. Yeah. Although the speed paints I tend to use mainly as a wash. But I love the gunmetal's great. Really good. And the washes, yeah, you're right. The washes. So the only one I've got a slight thing with, and it's only a slight thing, is the black one. I think it's a little bit strong, but with a little bit of that medium in it, it's spot on. Yeah, absolutely. It's pretty similar to the black I use. Is not Citadel. I buy a big bottle of the Vallejo black and water it down with the medium bit of flow improver. So it's not quite a speed paint, but it's quite thin. And you're right, over the grey, you get free highlights, which is something I love, really. Any free highlights is great. I thought the speed paint brown was good as well. Okay, so what should we go for? I'm thinking his blanket, I'm going to do like a red plaid, sort of make it look a bit cheeky tartan, not full tartan, though, just a couple of lines. Just, and I suppose his tabard would look good in like a motley green, wouldn't it? So let's just chuck some of this green on. This is elf green. Yeah, one of the videos I was talking about the speed paint, and it I think it got taken out a little bit out of context about this reactivation of it. If you follow the rules, i.e. you let it all dry, it's pretty hard to get it to reactivate. What I was kind of mentioning in the video when I did that one was, if you're like me and you're an impatient bugger, you've got to go really careful, otherwise it's still quite fresh. You can reactivate it with the next batch. But yes, I think it's a good product. Yeah, I think the reactivation thing, it is a thing, but not everyone's going to experience it the same, because if everyone undercoats differently and then treats the paint itself differently, and it's horses for courses, isn't it? Because I mean, I did some speed painted with my airbrush and used inks as like worked with like a undershade. It's a really fast way to paint, but you then I put some Vallejo varnish over the top, and it just reactivated all the ink, which was quite a messy experience. So all I was trying to do was warn people that it is a thing. But I think, yeah, they're good tools to have in the box. What I like to use the speed paint for, it's my favorite one at the moment, is the Crusader skin. And when you put the barbarian flesh down, I just put a dab of, or a little tiny drop of the medium in it. Yeah, absolutely true as that. I think, yeah, it's like anything. Anything's got its place. If there's no one, I think this is something that Games Workshop kind of were guilty of, and of ergo the army painter, is they're trying to sell you a technique in a bottle. So when they were doing their selling glazes, they're not really selling you a glaze, they're selling you a product to use to glaze. Because glazing is a technique, isn't it? So what I'm trying to say, I suppose, is whatever works for you, works for you. One of the things I was trying to set out in these videos is just to share my painting experience, which is really, I don't like, I'm not telling anyone they should do it this way or do it that way. It's whatever works for the individual. That looks really bad on camera at the moment. Yeah, so that's the Speed Paint Crusader Flash. It looks like the I remember the old Games Workshop inks people used to chuck over the top. I'm gonna let that dry in. Let's go crazy with some washes tonight. I'm feeling in a washy mood. Let's get, this is a really cool one they do. They got the plain green one, but they do one called Military Shader, which has got a bit of dark brown or black in it. It's Ace for Orc Flesh. What I'm kind of going for with this guy is kind of a decent tabletop ready stand, so I'm not going to go crazy on him. Just wanted to start this idea of having some live paint-alongs. Be cool if anyone, because they get uploaded to my page as well. So people watching this later on as well can comment on them. So hopefully, you know, people will say what they want to see or what they want to do a paint-along. Somebody suggested doing a 4-point saga army or something. We can do it over a few sessions. That'd be fun. Anything that works. So just to check the old thing. Right, so let's lay some I've got this camera at a real funny angle tonight. I keep forgetting where my where I got to hold it. Right, it's there. Yeah, that'd be cool. So this red, I've got to say, this was the base red I'm using, which is Abomination Gore, which is like a brownie red. Quite like that. Yeah, they were just some odd bits of slate I had kicking around, just trying to make it look a bit interesting. Cut some of the lead base away, left some on his foot. Is there many pict monuments left? They're like the odd, like standing stone ones, are they? I don't know. I'm asking there because really I don't really know. Just got to go. Just sort of more fancy look. This guy. Just wait for that. That pumice is still a bit wet as well. Hello. Ah, Cornatia. Okay. Better do a bit more painting, don't I? Time for my secret weapon, Brown. Oh. Good evening. This is one of the few Vallejo paints I still own. I can't get rid of it. It's so great. It's a secret weapon. It's the Model Air. Oh, thanks, dude. And this is a Model Air toasted. Toasted. I love that word. It's the burnt amber, basically. I won't try and get all Italian or anything because I'm rubbish at that. So what we're going to do now is I'm just going to. Why use the burnt umber air is over this Xenophil highlight here. If you watch the hair, there's a magic. You just grab that free shade in, grab it with both hands. I'm suffering from hand wander tonight. It's wandering all over the place. It's been really stormy this afternoon over our way. Let's just do the grip of his sword. Yes, it's. I'm afraid I went for the rule of cool on the sword. I don't think it's particularly. Not. No, No, not a lot. You could do. That'd work. They're quite strong. You'd have to water them down a bit. I did it, but they're so thin, and you put the inks over the Xenophore, and they rub off real easy. It's okay if you're going to put like a layer of clear coat in between, but then it ends up a lot of work, and the time you save on using them as a wash, you lose on the application of the thing. But this brown, it's not an ink, it's the Modeler one, so it's actually a paint. It's just writing on the wrong side. Yeah, I noticed that when you commented last time I was on. You put it onto one of the other videos, which is fine. I saw it. Yeah, I think they definitely got their use. Definitely, they're a good product. Anything that gets people painting is a good product, really. Yeah, I wasn't overly impressed by Sit Does Well. The only I like the brown. I've got it over here. Oh, sorry, not camera. Contrast Wildwood. That's really good, and it's different. It's completely different from the army painted brown, but I think I prefer the Vallejo Model Air Burnt Umber. As you can see, it does the same as your speed paint. Oh, sorry, you have to. It's not my usual camera, so yeah. I know a couple of people use lots and lots of them. Okay, again, it's whatever works for you. I get frustrated when you have people sort of saying, "Oh no, this is rubbish," or "This is better." You know, who cares? As long as you're getting your miniatures painted how you want them painted, and you're happy with them, that's the main thing. Now you see on the flesh of this guy that speed paint. What's it called? I keep forgetting. Crusader skin. Now it's dried on there. It's kind of given us I like to call free shading. And what I tend to do is go back in with the barbarian flesh, just a bit thinned, and just highlight on top of the original base colour. Yeah, I get that point as well. I just think it's really important just to bear in mind. Some people just paint as a hobby. Some people just want to get the minis on the table. But yeah, I see this definitely point. That was the only thing that worried me about the speed paints and the contrast paints before I tried them out, and I thought, well, people aren't going to learn sort of the older skills like the you know, go through the trials of dry brushing everything or washing everything or layering stuff. And well, it's good that it's going to get people painted and get painted armies on the table. We don't want to, as a hobby, lose skills. I saw GWR advertising they've got some new colours coming out and some a new formula. I don't know if they've changed it at all. I don't know what they needed to change. Yeah, agree. Yeah, I think it's playing at different levels as well and at different things. So this, I'm just noodling around on, really, just doing some basic techniques, just to do this video, really. It's quite hard to concentrate and talk to a camera, sitting at a funny angle, reading, typing. Usually I get totally engrossed in what I'm painting. I've been doing some of the videos for Griffin Beast and that, but I find it surprisingly hard to actually remember sometimes to actually describe what I'm doing. You just tend to do it. Let's see from this, hopefully see on the camera. Whoop. The flesh now, that's only the barbarian flesh. Yes, sorry, Jean-Luc. I keep forgetting my camera's in a slightly weird place tonight, and I keep forgetting it's not my normal camera. I have to. Thank you for the reminder. Yeah, so that's just the barbarian flesh with the Crusader speed paint over with the barbarian flesh as a highlight. I think it's quite good effect, really, for how long it takes. We've been on the video, what, 30 minutes now? So, yeah, that's half an hour in. Pretty happy with that. So what I do now, that green wash we put on is pretty dry. So next I'm going to go with some Commando Green. I'm just going to wash that down. Probably can't quite see it on camera. I'm using the yeah, I think sometimes you start painting the miniature and I don't tend to look at the whole miniature until I'm kind of really getting there, because I tend to focus on areas of it, because they do go through this stage of looking like a right pig's ear roll, don't they? I've gone over to the left again then. Hi, Physic Evo. Hi. So this is quite light green. But it's quite watered down. I'm using my medium to thin it out, and it's also on the wet palette, so it's more like a glaze than a paint at the moment. That's the biggest crime with the speed paints. They got rid of some of the. There was a couple of Citadel glazes that I just got into using when they. I hadn't come across them because, well, I hadn't, and then I found a couple of the glazes and thought, oh, these are nice. I think this green one really makes the. If you do an orc flesh, it really does set it all in nice. And of course, they stopped doing them. Always the way. Had to work a bit harder. So I try and do as many shortcutty bits as I can, because the idea of these videos is to get like that army on the table as quick as I can. That's what I was talking to Grip and Beast about, because they just want to see minis on the table. But you've got to get them, as Bob said, they've got to be a good standard. Although, as long as they're reasonable, it's better than having bare lead kicking around. Right, so that was our first highlight on there. And the Staffy starts to snore. I don't know if you can hear him on this mic. Okay, what I'm going to do now is drop a bit of red wash just on that blanket he's carrying. Let's use another brush. Sorry, I kept drifting over to the left naturally there. My screen's over to the left there on my PC, so I'm naturally sort of turning that way. Yeah, I think my neighbours might get a bit upset if I attack their cat with my razor. Is this miniature? Are you wandering minstrel off the left? Yes. He looks like a minstrel, doesn't he? You need to be having a seal. Yeah, if I was going for a posher paint job, obviously I don't think I've done the flesh like that. It's a bit patchy, but it works. Let's put some. We're waiting for that red to dry. We can chuck some gunmetal on there. Gunmetal is great. It's like the kind of the old bolt gun from years and years ago. That sort of. A really good colour. Just yes. So I'm gonna try and do a few of these on a Friday night for a bit whilst I'm free at the moment. So if anyone wants me to grab any particular miniatures from Griffin Beast, they've said they're supply some for this. Cheers. Yeah, that's Army Painters elf green with the Commander green over the top, and a wash. It's had a wash as well. Military shader, I think it's called. Yeah, it came out quite nice, the green. I've moved over to the left again, sorry. Yeah, whilst I've until my subscribers go over a certain amount, I can't use mobile devices on the live things. I've got to use my webcam. I bought a decent webcam, but it doesn't seem to want to autofocus. So I'd like to use my other camera, but it doesn't, because it sees it as a mobile device. I'm not allowed to, in case I'm rude or anything. Wandering Wilbury. Yes, I suspect his Wilbury would be wandering in this get-up. Okay, what I can do now, grab a bit of white, and just dab some of that on the wet palette. Just going to paint his eyes. So we're going to get the old, I like to use the Psycho brush. Yeah, I certainly would be in trouble with YouTube if I started doing upskirt stuff on there we go. This camera just doesn't pick it up like the other one. I'll have to upgrade again. Paint some teeth in there. Yes. I'm sorry, I can't even just white people staring at me. He looks like a zombie. So I'm going quiet there. I was taking his eyeballs in. Just tidy one up. I'm overshot slightly. A bit black back in. That'll do. I can't get into focus. Bugger. Okay, let's start working on that red. So next I'm going to use pure red. Everything's back to front today because of technology and my lack of control of it. Yeah, the hair job was just that burnt umber straight over the undercoat. So next we're going to water down that pure red. And we're going to move into the middle again. And I'm literally just going to pick the highs out with this one. It's had the browny red on it. Oh, squeaky chair. Honestly, squeaky chair. Not even blaming the dog. Hopefully by next week I should have sorted out the camera better. So we're going to get better focus and we're going to get better me not jotting all over the place. That's the red on there. What else should we do on him? Let's get a bit of black wash. This is not, well, it says it's non-oil, but it's not. It's basically the Vallejo black ink, and it's watered right down with my medium, just so it's not incredibly strong. Yeah, let's put some on my nails so you can see how strong this isn't. Not very strong at all. You should try the Army Painter orc skin on your gobos. I think you really like it. It's really bright, and you could play around with that colour. That's it on a testlet. That was my test guide for the speed plates, and seeing how they mixed and stuff. But yeah, that bogey green, that's your orc skin one. A bit different from that, I suppose. A lot less work. Okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to grab some cobalt skin. And I'm just going to mix some of that into the barbarian flesh. No, it's not becoming light enough. No, I'm not doing that. Where's the t'other one? I'll tell you what, I'm going to mix for myself. So I'm going to use the wet palette here. I'm going to put some white into the barbarian flesh, make a really pale flesh. When I set the camera up earlier, you could see my wet palette, but I seem to have knocked another setting that doesn't like that. So, sorry, I will get this right. All I'm going to do is just highlight around the nose, the cheekbones, around the lips, the knuckles. What is at the end as well, I'll take some stills of this guy and put him on the my Twitter page, my Facebook page, and stuff like that. Because I don't think I can add them to this video afterwards. Oh, Spike, what's the matter? That's a big yawn. Sorry, I was drawn over to one side of your screen there, wasn't I, John? Okay, so that's the basic paint. Then let's just put a bit of orangey red. That's Mars red. Give it a good shake. And we're just gonna go right onto the edges of that red. Just really zhoosh it up. I think zhoosh is a technical painting term. Spike is now licking his feet. Yes. Mars, a red Mars a day. Okay, he's got an axe for his belt here. And the shaft's coming down there, so we need basilisk brown. Straight onto the wet palette. Oh, sorry. Right off screen there. So I think that's the basics of him done now. So Yeah, I kind of hit it over that flesh then. It's getting some severe weird light effects with this camera. Yeah, I see what you mean in there, but it doesn't look quite so bad in the flesh. Let's make a mid-tone glaze, shall we? Just boo, 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 boo. Sorted there. Just taking my mid-tone of barbarian flesh with a little bit of white in it. Made a nice glazy. Nice. Whilst I've got it, I might as well work it around. There we go. Someone coming to my door. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'll just. Sorry about that, everyone. That's a nice Mr. Amazon bringing me a Prezi. Trying to avoid the dog barking. Okay. Where were we? I'll just made this glaze on this palette, haven't I? There we go. Just knock a little bit in there. Okay. Everything looks so shiny under this lamp as well. It's really quite matte on the paint. Okay. What I'm going to do now. Where's my wee brush? I've got a bit of white on the palette already. I'll drop a little bit of yellow on there. Some Babe Blonde. So that's what I'm going to do. Because and it's the pict warlord miniature, but I'm not actually going to use him as a pict warlord. I just like the fact that he's very Hollywood, shall we say. So I'm going to just put some detailing on him. I don't want to get too. I want to suggest tartan, but without doing tartan, if you know what I mean. So I've got my tiny psycho brush. That's better out there, isn't it? Bit of medium, watering that right down. Right off camera, sorry, I got it at a funny angle. It will be back on camera in just a second. Bear with me. Got to turn him upside down, sorry. I'll just do a bit. It's worth locking my hands and everything right out. Yeah, it's good, these videos. What I wanted to do, I didn't want to do like a full tartan look on this. I want to sort of suggest that this is where tartan comes from. So this is a very basic look of it. So I'm just gonna do these odd lines. I've got some yellow. I'll put a yellow one going the other way, and then probably on this tunic I'll just do a white one around the bottom, I think. Yeah, tartan is fun to paint. I did some Scots Greys for some of the other week. And had all the reference pictures sent to me as well. That was good fun. Yeah, just starting to get some front rank Napoleonic stuff sent my way. That's sorry, over to the left again. That's a challenge. Well, I know I don't know much about the Napoleonic wars at all, but I love painting them. But it's a complete minefield, isn't it? Okay, so just keep it nice and simple. As you can see, I have to put a yellow line going the other way. I don't want to spoil the simplicity of it too much, really. just thinking. Leave it. Because I'm going to put some blue woad. What do you think, people? Are we blue woad on picked people, or are we no blue woad on picked people? Although I was going all Hollywood on this guy, so he's an Australian picked. So I'm thinking, get the blue woad on there. I know you would like it. Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm just going to put some blue swirly bits on him. I think sort of like the tattoo stuff. He does look. He does. I'm quite pleased with him as he is, but I promise not to write freedom on the base. I think that'd be going too far. Yeah, Glasgow. Yeah. So what does? What we use is there's one they do called Dark Sky, which is it's like a policeman's uniform blue, but it waters down really nice. It's that one. So just put a drop onto the palette. I'll make sure next time I do this, you can see all the palette. Oh, you can just about see the blue now, isn't it? It's a little bit out of focus where it's a bit out of range. I'll start with his calf. This is one of the reasons I wasn't too overly fussed about the flesh being perfect. It's massive on the screen. So you settle for a line down the middle of his face rather than painting it completely half blue, because there's some nice shading on his face. So it's always go a little bit quiet when I'm kind of freehanding stuff. Yeah, that was I can't remember what company did it. There was actually they probably got sued and shut down, but they made a real William Wallace one. I did it for a Scottish friend of mine for Christmas. And we did the put it on the base and wrote freedom on it. Did you know pretty well? It wasn't a great movie, was it? We watch these guys on YouTube and they go through them and show the worst ones. Some of them are fantastic. I can't remember which film it was now. Was it Kingdom of Heaven or something where they're on the cliff? Oh no, it might have been no, it was Greek, wasn't it? Oh, I think it was one with Brad Pitt in it, and they're waiting for him to arrive on the beach, and they're on a cliff with these crappy looking bows, already pulled back, and he shouts fire. One of my other friends' pet hates. He doesn't look dissimilar to the warrior, does he? I suppose I could paint his face paint like the warrior. Could if he could paint a lot more on his face if he didn't have a beard. Well, thank you, Bob. I thought you were saying hi, Dad, to me. I thought, oh, blimey, I've just acquired a new child. They've tracked me down. There's somebody's dropped something on the road out there, and there's like all these seagulls appeared. So it sounds like I'm at the seaside. I promise I'm not. Hiya, you alright? Sorry if the miniatures wander around at the moment while I'm painting a swirly bit around his arms, so it's hard to keep track of where I am on the camera at the moment. You have to bear with me. Yep. Oh, they're making some strange. Can you guys hear those? They're making some very strange noises. It's Lucian. All right. Nah. I can see him soon. Good thing about, I don't know how well you can see the. Can you see the line of it? There's a bit of a mistake in there. So what I can do is just get that mid-tone back. And just tighten my freehand up. So his face, we were doing. Nice. What's J-Rax? Okay. Let's do blue woad face. Oh, J-Rax is your rat. I get you. He's a very cute rat. I might just go, oh, pardon me. Nah. I might just go with the. I'll come over soon. It's only because I bring sweets over when I come. There we go. Half his face. Then the back of his hand, his arms. A bit. A few more random blue dots. I think he's about there, really. So what I'll do is put that brush away and grab. This is the brown I like using to do the soil on the bases, which is a war paints, brown. I use like the oak brown on their usual one, but I was watering it down, so I tried the airbrush version, and I still water it down. So either or really. Put a couple drops of medium in there. Get all my crappy brushes. Sorry, my more worn out brushes. I'm just going to hit all this. On the base. I like to use quite watered down. A bit isn't totally dry, I don't think, from earlier. I like the idea that Bob said earlier about getting some pictures of actual pict sort of stones and stuff like that. Was it Triskelion? Everything looks so shiny under this lamp. Yes. Yeah, if you can hook up on Twitter and stuff, or even in the comments on here, of what people would like me to get hold of and do next. I know somebody's going to suggest some nice 6mm. Right, I'm going to hit those rocks with some Dungeon Grey. Strange with slates and that, if you just bung them on there and don't paint them, they look kind of strange as you weather them and stuff. So I kind of just cut the middleman out and just undercoat them and paint them. Oops. Wandered off camera again then. Sorry. How far are we now? 1 hour 25 minutes. Wow. Oh, the base. Very simple actually. All it is 3 bits of slate that have been broken up. I just glued on, and then the mud effect is pumice. I'll grab a bottle and show you a sec. I used to use the Vallejo one, but I found this other one that was, I found I could control better, so I could get it smooth or I could get it lumpy. Let's get on camera. PBO pumice, and it comes in a neutral color. The light's a bit harsh tonight. I'll sort it out for next time. Yeah, it comes in a neutral color, which makes it nice. You can mix paint in it if you want to, like the Vallejo stuff, but I think it gives you option of doing a mud or a thing, and then literally just painting it like that. And once I finish painting it, I'll chuck a tuft and stuff on it, and it's done. Very simple. I'll have to sort that out, doing a video on some different bases. That'd be good. Okay, so that's the painting done. Oh, great. I think we had a meeting of minds there. Yeah, so I'll get and do one. I do make a lot of scenery and bases and stuff, so I kind of like that simple look. I think it's quite effective. So what I'll do now is let that dry off. No, I promise I will. I'll get a load of bases and do some different ones. And any ones you want particular, just drop us a message on the comments, or if you found me on Facebook or Twitter, just look up Pirate Rich Paints, you'll find me on there. I'm always about at the painting desk, so I can always answer questions, send photographs and stuff. Yeah, I just got to wait for that to. I'm watching paint dry now, because there's pretty much nothing left to do on him apart from lacquer him to get that nice matte look. What I might do is, I know what we could do. If I just get my black out a minute, I'm old school, so the edge of that base has to be painted. It always used to be goblin green, didn't it? Now I do them all black. I think when they're on a tabletop, even if they're like a realistic one, they tend to stand out with that little black line on them. I don't know. I like it. I know some people don't, but I do. Yes, I hope you like this live video stuff. It's quite kind of fun. I thought what I could do, if I'm going to mute the microphone a minute and stick my hairdryer on it. And last question for now, even two. How did you make tattoos, and what is it? Okay. How did you make the tattoos? Right. This will upload when I've finished. I'll upload this onto my thing, so you'll be able to watch back. The tattoos, just for quickness, I used this sort of blue, like a dark sky blue, and I made it very watery, and I used my tiny brush so it runs off better, and literally just painted them on. You can go, that's going for more of a kind of war paint blue woad look. If you want to look really tattooy, you can go a little bit stronger than that and make a wash out of the flesh, and after you finish the blue, put a flesh wash over them so they fade back a little bit. But we can do a video on tattoos and stuff at some point, a little short one. And what is better for grass on basis, tufts or static grass for applicator? I used to make all my own tufts, but I was getting through so many of them. I found army paint ones are good, but my favorite ones at the moment are Gamer's Grass. These ones will be going on it, and Darren ordered them from Gripping Beast for me. So they're very good. Gamer's Grass and Griffin Beast do them. They do like a dry one, heather. Applicators are good on bigger areas, or if you want to make your own tufts. And I found that was quite useful, but again, I ran out of time making tufts. So if I want just a little tuft somewhere on the base, sometimes I'll just put a little bit of glue on there and sprinkle a little bit in there if it's good. But yeah, no problem. Right, let me just mute my mic a minute, and I will use the hairdryer to speed the space up. So I did that the wrong way around there. Unmuting before I switch the hairdryer off. Yeah, so on that mud, that's the oak brown. Then I usually grab, where's it gone? Oh, now it's up there. A Banshee brown, which is like a beigey colour. Put this on the dry palette. Do a little bit of dry brushing. And my favourite spongy bit. Big cheapy craft brush for this. I'm going to go quite heavy. I'm just hitting the mud at the moment. If it goes too light for you, you can always then drop a little bit of brown wash into it. So that's good. These sponges, they're just the ones out the when you get a blister pack. I save them all up. Use them for all sorts. Doing the dry brushing, washing brushes out in, stabbing everything. Not stabbing, but stabbing things into. I don't attack people with bits of foam. Okay. Even if I'm accused of it sometimes. Right, let's have a look. Next we need to do is the rocks, and I'm going to use spaceship exterior. Because we're in a slightly tighter area there, I'm going to get one of my old regiment brushes. Ones where the tip goes there. Not gone past their sell by date yet. I'll turn that over, so get dry side. Yeah, this spaceship exterior is really kind of cool. Bit of dry brushing on there. So I'm going to go quite heavy with the light colours on the base, because I'm going to grab, where's it gone? Again, this isn't Agrax anymore. This is a Vallejo brown ink with the medium in it. What I do when I'm doing this, because I want it to be quite thin, is I load up with medium and use the lid and actually water it down in the pot, because it all goes back into the pot anyway. That's why I make my own like that. I'm just gonna, I should have really let it dry for a little bit longer, but I'm not Blue Peter, so I've not got time to have one prepared earlier. I'm going to hit the rocks with that brown as well. You could use the black on the rocks, but I just want it look a little bit dirty, the base. Tis Scotland, not saying Scotland's dirty, but it's quite muddy. We can tell it's muddy there. This is a muddy place. This is a muddy scene. It's got mud in it. Okay, so I think that's enough of that. Let's make sure there's paint around his feet. So that's all the painting done. So I can let that dry out. Then stick a tuft on it and stick some tufts on there and get it lacquered. I use Vallejo polyurethane matte lacquer because I don't like it too matte. I think the ultra matte's good, but it's a little bit too matte for some of these. Okay, so thank you for joining me. If you joined me, thank you for watching this. If you're watching this after I've uploaded it, well, YouTube's uploaded it. I'm going to try to do next Friday again at 7:30. All being well, I'll try and put a warning thing on it. And yeah, thanks for your questions. I will get and do the base. Remind me if not. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and like and all that sort of stuff. See you on Facebook or Twitter. And that's it. And I'll see you again very soon. Cheers, and guys, stay safe.